Hello and welcome to this video which will help you overcome your fear of driving. This video is designed specifically for people who have a fear of driving over bridges and or a fear of driving at speed. However, this can work for any driving related issue. For this video you will need to watch the screen at times, so even though I'm just talking to you now and there's not really much happening on the screen, please be somewhere where it's possible for you to open your eyes and look at the screen at certain times throughout this video. The reason you're getting this problem is that when you drive, your mind is predicting something is about to happen, even though that thing is highly unlikely, if not impossible. So what happens is, when you're driving up to a bridge or when you reach a certain speed, your mind is thinking that something is about to happen. It then fires off a series of feelings, actions and thoughts which result in what we call driving anxiety. So simply you're panicking over something that isn't going to happen. What this procedure does is it allows you to kind of rewrite your mind. It's a bit like having a memory card. We're going to erase it and then overwrite what was on it. Now you never fully erase the memory, it will still be there, and you may find when you drive you still have thoughts of how you used to be, but the difference is you won't have the feelings, so it will just be a distant memory and you'll be able to drive in this situation without any problems. Compare that to how when I drive, I actually find driving fun. Because when I'm driving and the speed's getting higher or I'm coming up to a bridge, I'm not predicting the things that you are. I'm predicting fun and excitement and good times, and that's why I enjoy driving, and that's how you can enjoy driving. So let's get on with this procedure and let's start to overwrite these false predictions that you're making and get you back on the road behind the wheel. I'd like you to think of a number from 0 to 10, with 0 being no problem whatsoever and 10 being the worst problem ever. What number would you give your problem now? So what I'd like you to do to start is to simply make sure you're in a situation and a location where it would be safe for you to fall asleep. Now you're not going to fall asleep, that's not what this is about, but you must be in a location where it would be safe to do so. So ideally you'll be sitting down somewhere, maybe lying on a bed, but you must be able to look at the screen, because at certain times I am going to need you to look at the screen. If you've watched my other videos, you may know how this is not about relaxation, and I often say you don't have to close your eyes. Now while those things are true, for the purpose of this video I am going to ask you to close your eyes in a moment, because it just helps to shut out the outside world. And I'm not going to tell you to relax, but it does help to just be calm, to just take a few breaths in and out and just calm yourself, because that just helps this process to work. So when you're sitting or lying somewhere safe, I'd like you to just close your eyes and just start to take a few breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And just keep repeating that as I'm talking, and just allow your mind to calm and allow the outside world to gently start to just fade away and get yourself into this zone. So just continue to breathe and continue to listen to what I'm saying. And if you haven't already done so, just allow your eyes to close and just allow yourself to get into this wonderful state of feeling more at ease. And now you've reached that state, and you can continue to, if you haven't done so already, I'd like you to start thinking about the feelings that you have when you're in this situation, whether it's a bridge, a highway, or any other driving situation. I'd like you to think about the way you feel when you do this. Think about the physical feelings you have. Maybe you get sweaty palms, maybe your heart races faster, maybe your stomach hurts. Whatever is appropriate for you, I want you to take some time to think about these feelings, and I want you to really amplify them. I want you to get them so that they feel as strong as when you're actually driving. And this is possible to do because all of this is in your mind. So even though you might think, well, I'm not driving, it's harder to get the feelings up. If you put yourself in that position and that situation, you can and you will be able to bring these feelings up. And if for any reason you can't, or they may be weaker than usual, that's fine, as long as you're focusing on them and you're thinking of the feelings you have when you drive. And now you've done that, I'd like you to think of a situation where you feel calm and in control. This could be anything in your life, from the present or from the past. I want you to think of a time when you are completely in control, something you excel at, anything at all that you are really good at, something where you have no fear, you're calm, you're in control, and you can do it as well, if not better, than anyone else you know. And I want you to now focus on those feelings. How do you feel now in that situation? I want you to really amplify those feelings, just like we did before. And I want you to turn it up, so it's a 10 out of 10. And I want you to really get those feelings as clear as you can, as strong as you can. And just take a moment, if you haven't done so already, to really feel that confidence. And when you've done that, I'd like you to switch back to how you feel when you drive. Think about that feeling again now when you're on the bridge or the highway or whatever it is that bothers you. I'd like you to get those feelings back. Think about how bad you feel, the old negative feelings. And you may find they don't feel quite as strong as they did before, but I want you to try and make them as strong as they were before. And you can take a moment doing this, and you don't have to follow exactly what I'm saying. So if you're still thinking of something as I'm speaking about something else, that's fine. But when you've got those feelings, I want you to now switch again to the one where you feel confident and calm and in control. And I want you to amplify those feelings again. Maybe this time make it an 11 out of 10. Make it even stronger than before. And when you've done that, I'd like you to now switch back to the old feeling, the one you used to have when you drove. And how does that feel now? That old negative feeling. Is it the same, or is it getting weaker? I'd like you to try and get that as strong as you can, but you'll probably find it becomes harder and harder to make those negative feelings strong. And if you are feeling them strongly, you can just repeat this process over and over. So I'd like you to now switch again to the way you feel when you're calm and confident and in control, and really turn that up. Maybe it's gone from an 11 out of 10 to a 20 out of 10. How much in control can you be? How confident can you be? And I'd like you to really take your time now to turn this up and up and up, and to be feeling as good as you possibly can. And then when you're ready, and only when you're ready, I want you to switch back to the driving feelings. How do you feel when you drive now? How are you feeling at this time? And if you have any twinge of negativity, you can switch back to your confident state and then switch back to the old driving state. And I'd like you to repeat this. I'll keep quiet for a short while now, and I'd like you to switch from the old feeling to the confident new feeling. And you'll find the more you switch between the two, the more they become mixed, and the more confident you feel when you're thinking of driving. And now you've done that, we're going to do the same thing with your actions. So this time, instead of thinking about your feelings, I want you to focus on your actions. What do you actually do when you drive? What is it that you're doing? Not feeling, but doing. Maybe you're gripping the wheel tighter. Maybe you're looking all around you. Maybe your legs start to shake. What actions are you actually taking when you're driving? And I'd like you to really amplify these, just like we did before. I want you to turn it up so that you're behaving now as you do when you drive. Maybe you'd even like to put your arms out and pretend you're holding the steering wheel. Maybe you like to pretend you're pressing the pedals with your feet. Whatever you like to do, I want you to see yourself taking these actions in your car as you're driving. And I want you to turn it up so it's as vivid and clear as you can possibly get it. And now, like we did before, I'd like you to switch to a situation, maybe the same one or maybe another one, where you feel confident, in control and in charge. What actions are you doing at that time? And I want you to get them as clear and crisp and vivid as you possibly can. And maybe you'd even like to act out what you're doing in those situations with your arms and your legs, just as you did when you imagined the driving. And take a moment to get this as clear, crisp and vivid as you possibly can. And now I want you to switch back to the driving when you're ready. Switch back to thinking about your actions and your behaviour when you drive. How does that feel now? Now we've gone from the negative to the positive to the negative. How do they feel? What are those actions like? And I'd like you to see you doing these actions again, and imagine these actions that you do when you're driving in the situation that you disliked, and focus on them once more before switching again, now to the confident, positive version. What actions are you taking at this time when you're feeling positive, confident, calm, collected and in control? And I'd like you to again turn that feeling right up, and when you're at the peak of feeling the best you possibly can and as much in control as is possible, I want you to switch back to thinking about your actions when you drive. And what's happened to them now? Are they the same or are they improved? And then switch back again now to how you feel when you're in control, and stay in that situation for a short while, as long as you see fit. And again, you don't have to keep pace with my speech. If you're imagining the opposite, that's fine. You can just allow my words to just sink into your mind as you do whatever you need to do. And this time, when you switch back to the driving anytime now, I want you to start seeing it differently. See the actions change, feel the actions change, feel your behaviour changing. Notice what you're hearing is different. Notice what's changing about this scenario. And you can continue to switch between the old and the new, the negative and the positive, for as long as you see fit. I'm going to keep quiet again now for a while to allow you to do this, and then I'll be back again. Now I'd like you to think about the thoughts that you have when you were driving. Think about what you were thinking of when you drove. What was in your mind? What thoughts were going through your mind? What were you expecting to happen? And what were you imagining was going to happen? And I'd like you to take a moment just to keep thinking about these things. What is it that you are predicting? What's the outcome of this driving going to be? Whether it's on a bridge, highway, motorway, whatever it is, what are you thinking is going to happen? And now what I'd like you to do is think of a time in your life when you thought something bad was going to happen, but you predicted it wrongly. You got it incorrect, and you were pleasantly surprised by something that happened. And if you find this difficult to think of an example for, just focus on thinking about a positive time in your life. Maybe a day from the past when you did drive successfully. Maybe one of those times you may think of as an unusual drive because you didn't get the feelings that it all felt great. Maybe a time you felt bad, but it did work out well in driving or any other situation. And just think about that. If you find it hard to think of one, just focus on a positive thought. Time when you're doing something that makes you feel great. And once you've done that, I'd like you to now switch back to thinking again about driving. And what are you thinking now when you drive in this situation? How does that feel to be thinking that what you used to think mixed in with the positive thoughts that you just had? And take some time to think about what it is you're thinking about. What is it you're predicting now is going to happen? And as you think about this, focus on the outcome. Focus on the future. What is actually really going to happen? Not just what you think is going to happen, but what is really, actually, and factually going to happen. What happens to other successful drivers, people who drive doing the very thing that once scared you? What really happens to them? And does what you're thinking of come true for them? And if for any reason you are feeling slightly anxious, maybe at the memory or the thought of something bad that did once happen to someone, just know that the world isn't perfect, and this is not about being perfect. Just living is taking a chance. Just walking down the street is taking a chance. Going out your front door is taking a chance. but we take those chances because the risks are so small. And when it comes to driving, the risks really are that small. Whatever you've experienced, whatever you're thinking of, driving is something many people, millions across the world, enjoy every day. And focus on all the good things that happen when people drive. Think about the positive experiences they have, and yes, there'll always be some negatives. There'll always be some anxiety. There'll always be some bad drivers. But that's them, not you. So don't let their problem become your problem. Focus on the positives. Think about the time again when you are enjoying your thoughts. Think of a time when you're having great fun. And think of how good that feels to be in that positive mindset. Doing something that you know you can do and you know you can really enjoy. And then go back when you're ready to what you thought before about driving and ask yourself this: are those thoughts true? Is that really going to happen? Or is it just a misprediction? Is it just something you were thinking that could happen, but is tremendously unlikely to happen? And I'd like you to go back again when you're ready to thinking about the happy thoughts, the good times, the times you feel strong and confident. And as you do that, when you're ready, switch back again to thinking about the thoughts that come into your mind when you're driving. How do they feel now? Are those thoughts true? Or are they just silly predictions that have never come true or will never come true? Now we've done this exercise, I want you to think of the number that you chose earlier, the one from 0 to 10. What number did you say it was? And what number is it now? And if you'd like to repeat this, you can simply skip back to the chapter and run through that process again. But if you'd like to continue, and when you feel that you've got the maximum benefit you can from this method, I'd like you to do something. I'd like you to now open your eyes and look at the screen now. How do you feel watching this video? How are your feelings? How are your actions, your behaviour? And how are your thoughts? Are you watching this now feeling different to how you might have before? And as you watch this video, I'd like you to focus on how you feel. Think about the actions you'd be taking in this situation. Think about your thoughts, the 3 things we changed: your feelings, your actions, and your thoughts. And I'd like you to continue watching this video. And if for any reason you do feel distressed by this, you can simply repeat this process and then come back to this until you feel calm and confident and at ease watching this video. And I'm going to allow the video to play now, and I'd like you to see how you feel watching this, and then I'll come back. So now you've changed the way you feel, act and think, you can find driving on bridges or highways or any other situation much easier than before. And yes, it really can be that simple to overcome driving anxiety. Although this video did not talk about the root cause, just by thinking of these things, your mind may well have found the root cause, whether or not you're aware of that. And I'd like you to think again about the number we mentioned before, from 0 to 10. And what number is it now? If you would like more help, you can always reach out to me through my website firstdrive.com or through email if we've already spoken before. Thanks for watching and enjoy your driving.